Here is Tanzila Sabah. I am truly honored to lead this panel with my esteemed panelists, and I am thankful to Low Code conference organizers and my conferences for providing this platform. Today our panel is about empowering citizens and skill developers on the journey of low-code adoption. We will get a chance from our panelists to highlight the opportunities, challenges, and collaborative approaches to empower both citizen developers and skill professionals for their shared journey of no-code adoption, which I personally believe will give you an insight on these exciting emerging fields. So, before starting, I would like to appreciate if they can introduce themselves briefly. Mr. Anas, can you start from you?
Yes, this is Anas Musa. I'm the IT director of one of the colleagues from Riyadh. I have 23 years experience. I work in different sectors. So I'm glad to be one of my experience in this balance.
Assalamu alaikum and good morning. I'm Ahmed Darwish, head of National Delivery in Bank of Riyadh. I have almost 32 years of experience working in IT, business, and digital. My doctorate of business administration also is in the digital government, so it's also related to the same topics that we are talking about from time to time. I wish if I can be added value to this discussion today with my peers.
My name is Ifrata. I'm in this field of IT since last 22 years. Currently, I'm working as the career education holding company. As you know, that whole Saudi is going toward a digitalization and we are working on such kind of implementation and technology where we can digitalize everything. So currently, I'm working with the three particular companies on these projects. So I'm very much happy and I'm very much excited to share my outcomes and my experience with you on different areas. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for this brief and comprehensive introduction. Now we will start our panel discussion. I would like to proceed with Mr. Anas Musa. As we personally believe collaboration is the key element in any type of development. So once we come to the no-code adoption, my question is, Mr. Anas, how can citizen developers and skilled professionals collaborate effectively within an inclusive development ecosystem, and what are the key benefits of such collaboration for the organization?
Thank you for this question. Actually, this is most of the organizations they have the gaps between that area for the citizens and the professionals. But most of the organizations that what's the practices that we will be implementing, and even from my experience, that we need to be focusing and increase the level of these citizens by engaging for the project, giving some an assignment, and even for upskilling, training, and the knowledge for the citizen development. And even the acceleration or agility for this program that need to be patient for this, especially between the junior and the citizen development, which means that not be involved in for a heavy task, so we can involve him in sharing the knowledge between setting certain KPIs with this professional, and they have a programming that the competency and awarding for these resources to be and have a career within 2 to 3 years, and even engaging for small projects, for example, that will give him assignment for gathering requirement, doing some prototype, and assign this professional developer for heavy task or complex solution. So that will give an opportunity to this developer that increase their experience and the practicing. Maybe I have one example that we see here in Saudi Arabia. I mean, the national cybersecurity, the hackathon that will be happening every year. That bring expert resources and fresh graduated and make 3-4 days programming and put serious, businesses and see how this merging, this experience that to deliver the product. Which means it should be happening in the organization. And even when it was signed, one of good thing that it should be identified the role and responsibility, which that give them more of passion that they have certain role and responsibility can be doing and segregate the role and responsibility between the citizen developer and the other exercise that we noticed that not only low code and no code is not this endless. Every day we have a technology that is coming in the organization. So the role of even the products itself that need to be invested for these people to have focusing on the graduating from university, they have boot camp programming. So even giving an awareness about the value for their living and how it will be contribute in the organization.
Thank you so much, Mr. Anas, for bringing this insight. I would just like to add the most important point which you highlight about this hackathon, datathon, where Kingdom IT is really moving in the right direction. Now different ministries, LCNC, Ministry of Energy, and all of these going to build this culture. I am basically from academia, and sometimes I receive this question from a student, and we are from business background, and we have no concern with the AI or digital transformation. So I think in this way we can remove this myth, we can resolve this myth. The people, even with the strategic background, with the business background, with this beautiful collaboration, they can come up with a developer and can bring the best solution, best opportunities to the industry and academia. So I do agree with your point of view, and now we will move to Mr. Ahmed Dervish. Could you share some insights into how considering LCNC adoption be part of your digital transformation strategy?
Yes, this is a great question to ask. Having a digital strategy or transformation strategy is a key success factor now for any organization. You cannot live today without a clear strategy for your digital transformation, especially with the diversity of, let's say, services and demands that we have today in the market. Building a successful strategy is important, and part of that is to adopt the best or options that really fulfill your strategy and direction that you want to go into, and where you want to focus as an organization in upcoming, let's say, 2 to 3 years. And for sure, adopting the right technology is a success factor for this. And for sure, low-code is one of the new technologies that came into the community and the industry to help us do a lot of things faster, in an agile way to reach that objective of our strategy, as well as helping you to adapt new technologies, like, for example, talking about blockchain, about AI, talking about data analytics, if you're talking about different solutions that we are trying today to provide to our customers and differentiate ourselves with as part of our strategy. I think low-code is one of the key pillars to use to achieve such kind of strategy and objectives.
Thank you so much, Mr. Dervish, and I apologize if I'm adding more to this topic because it's really close to my heart. And usually, whenever I deliver a workshop on the things, the question I ask my student, what is the difference between policy and strategy? And most of the time, people are confused between these two concepts. But we believe policy is there, maybe for 3 years, 5 years, maybe for 10 years, but strategy is the most important key point. And I do agree with Mr. Anas' point of view in the IT or the AI field. Each single day we have new emerging technologies. So without strategic planning, without the adoption of strategy, we cannot move in the direction which we actually have to be there, specifically in this competitive age. So definitely all the organizations should keep it at the heart, the strategic planning, and that's really the beauty of an organization. To Dr. Iftikhar Ali. Dr. Iftikhar, what initiatives can be implemented to empower citizen developers through training and upskilling program in low-code, no-code development, and how does this contribution is fostering the innovation?
Very important question. Whenever we are talking about this, so we are talking about the adaptation. And there are several ways to adapt any of the technology or any of the norms. As my previous gentleman, they talk about that it's a new technology. Yes, definitely it's a new technology. And earlier there was a mentality that technology is only limited to the technology people who will code and who will implement and deliver the solution. Now, LCNC, it has changed that mindset. Now, according to the new mindset, the normal people, they can also contribute in the development of the digitalization in their organization and in their day-to-day life. So whenever we are talking about the adaptation, so there are several ways which can help us to go for the adaptation. We can talk about the workshops, we can talk about the seminars. In the workshops, the most important thing is here, we need to provide them the facilities so that people who are going to attend this workshop, they will not attend this workshop for the sake of workshop. We should provide them the opportunities to experience the technology, to do something and have some exercise hands-on, so that they will feel the sense of achievement, and based upon that they will adapt the technology. If you don't feel anything, or if you don't do anything with your hand, or if you don't experience anything, people, they are always hesitant to that. Now, in addition to that, as my previous fellows, they spoke about the hackathons. Yes, these are very important to go for the adaptation. You should conduct the hackathons. In addition to that, award and reward. This is also one of the important factors. If someone did something and there is no appreciation or award or reward, maybe the adaptation will not be to that extent what we are expecting. And all these things either should be sponsored by the government or by the organization. When we are talking about the culture, the individual organizations, they also play a key role, because if we see the engagement of the government organization in the society and engagement of the other organizations, the contribution of other organizations is very high as compared to government organizations, because there are a lot of people who are engaged in the public or private sector of the companies. So now what I will emphasize over here, companies, they should also play a very vital role in arranging all these arrangements, so that people, they can involve and they can go for the adaptation. So once this low code, no code is adapted, maybe down the road 2 years or 3 years, we will see there is a very quick and there is a very agile upgradation and movement and improvement in the implementation of the digital strategies and the digital technologies. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Iftikhar, for sharing this excellent insight in the adoption of digital transformation in the companies. And so before moving to the second round, maybe we can involve the audience as well and give their feedback. So we have to know whether they are the same understanding which we have or there is any difference. So my question is just, if anyone is thinking, what basic skills do you think are required to adopt the digital transformation? Maybe you are as a key person to proceed with it. What do you think? Anyone would like to contribute? Anyone please? No. So usually again I would like to go back to saying, as Dr. Iftikhar has mentioned sometime, and also I like this main slogan of LCNC conference. It is for the citizen professionals and skilled professionals. So it means any person from any background, whether from business, from humanities, from law, they can be part of the digital transformation because it's not all about the technical skills. It's about the strategy. It's about the policy. It's about the way how you will proceed. So by saying this, we will move to the second round, and I would like again to ask Mr. Anas Musa, what strategies have been successful in bridging the gaps between citizen developers and skilled professionals, and how has this improved collaboration and productivity?
Actually, the strategic will be different between organization and even the type of the business, and how the dependency about your backbone for the company depends on this application. If you look at to the implementer, they will be investing more and more. They have clear strategy by having sharing knowledge. They have emphasized to do increase the knowledge by monthly. They have such a program that must all of their employees they take this program online or attendance, or they have a programming that the training that we attend in the year 2 or 3. They have a boot camp. If you consider the banking, also the banking, they have investing for the resources because they are relying on the backbone of the technology. If you look at for the company that only, client side, that they have not have that large number of IT. But one of thing that you to identify the gap and the strategic that to make an assessment about what they need and how we will develop that regarding the cost and reducing the cost. A very important thing that we bring these resources to look at how to increase the productivity and even cost reduction, cost of the developer in the market. If I ask the question now to the people here, if you want to find a talented developer, it's very difficult to find in the market. So all of these technology today, even though the solution provider, they don't have, for example, 20 experts in the market. If they have 20, they will distribute it across the world. So this is the gap. To fit this gap, it will take a long time, and even it is a journey. So it's highly known that need to be build your capabilities in the organization, and even depends on the outsourcing. So today is similar for the cloud. If you look at the cloud solution, still, every day they have a new technology that look into the market is not yet mature. How long it take the cloud to have a maturity? It takes 10 years until the organization are moving to the cloud and implemented in the cloud, and still most of the organizations that have an eye. The same for the competency for the resources. The gap it will be it will be carried on with you, but you should have a vision from the top management to the leader how we will do this gap. But we will not reach to the level 0. All the skills they have. You can survive as an organization. We don't have a soldier. Still, you have a soldier, and you have a journalist, and you have a levels. But how you have dependence today on the soldier and supervisor and the team? There is one thing that we see here in the Middle East, especially. If you look at talk about the citizenship for Saudis. Very difficult to find applications for the Saudi. If you look at today in the market, I need SharePoint or I need a developer, you will not find it. Because they look at, they after 2-3 years, they will promote him to the manager. We don't have this source of the technical level, especially in the programming. And if you look at the future, today the application and the programming, most of the companies in the world, they rely on this application, a mobile application or local. The positive thing, if you look at, the awareness and demanding for the cybersecurity. you will see a big pool for Saudis for cybersecurity. They have a lot of development, but this area, development, there is very limited resources. Even if you look at, in the Middle East, and maybe Muslim or Egypt and India, they have a lot of resources, you will have these skills. But in the Middle East, Jordan is a little bit. And Saudi Arabia, if you compare, and I'm actually searching 6 months for SharePoint developers, Saudi, I cannot find. Which means this is very important skill that's required in the market, but no one highlighted. So mostly look at for outsourcing and bring this outsourcing, but you are not building these capabilities in the organization. And how many organizations that have developer, senior developer, they have in the SharePoint, and they rely on outsourcing. But I mean, that's I'm spotlighting on this area because I face the experience I have a difficulty even with relying on the headhunter to bring this resource. It's very difficult. There is no one in the market.
Thank you so much, Anas. You highlighted very important and the key points where the gaps are located. And if we come to this point, maybe all of you will agree with me, and the people who are leading the industry, the people who are maybe working in this, where are the main ground roots, I think the academic institutions, from school to universities. So how we will prepare our youth, our citizen developers from that point. So I think the Kingdom is working in this direction as we have the MISC Foundation, preparing the people for the basic skills from the school and the college university level. Because we receive this feedback all the time from our students. Mostly they entered into the industry after completing their academic program, and there is a gap. It was mainly about the memorization, about the curriculum, but the core industrial skills are lacking. So at that point, it's not all about the technical skills, but mainly as we are leading the digital transformation, all the industries and the academia together, they have to look into this solution, how we can make out this here. And that's very valuable insights which you shared with us. So with that, I will move to Mr. Ahmad Darwish. What are the key benefits and value proposition that business in general can derive from the adoption of LCNC platform in streamlining process, reducing development cost, and fostering innovation within their operation?
Yes, honestly, we are talking about developing strategy and converting this strategy into initiatives, and having these initiatives being executed from giving the requirements until we deliver the service to our customers in production, making sure that we are engaging the customer, keeping the customer in the focus of our solution. First of all, this process is normally takes from, let's say, several months to multiple years. Having such kind of delay in delivering the solution or the service to the customer in order to be able to compete and fulfill the market demand versus the supply that we are giving is becoming not only critical, but it's a big kind of things. So today, if you wait until you start having a new initiative, then you get approval for the budget, then you start writing the business requirements, then development, design development, testing, and then it's a long journey which we cannot afford anymore. And honestly speaking, the traditional way of doing design and development and delivering the initiatives from ideation till going into the customer hands, it is not accepted anymore to be in that kind of legacy. And so even with the agile methodology that we have today, we are still suffering from being able to deliver fast. We deliver in chunks and APP first, then we add additional services. But assume that you have all of this under the hand of the business itself, what we call here citizen development. Today, if the business has an idea, they have a local platform under their hand. I believe that if they have any idea, they can go to the customer reach the customer for that such kind of enhancement or service within a week or two, instead of that we wait for months. So for sure, that will increase the engagement of the customer, and it will enhance the experience of the customer with the organization, whether it is a bank or not. So this will keep the customer loyal, attached, and responding to their changing demands and expectations will be fast enough to be able to compete in this era. And to this part, the cost, and in trade, you have to develop the skills of the people inside the organization and bring skills and resources in some areas, like what Anas was mentioning about certain areas in IT. So this is taken not only time to bring the resource and pitch the market to bring the right candidate, but also until they came and catch up, then we start being producing up to the level and the expectation of the organization is taking time. It's costing us a lot. Also, it's a loss of opportunity where you can get a lot of revenue when you start providing or availing the service for the customers faster than what we have today. So this is a loss of opportunity as well as extra cost and overheads for the organization. About moving into big enterprise, agile enterprise in the new organized style of doing business is also demanding to have a good for the organization to be able to move faster and provide services to customers with the agile approach, either internally within the organization or for the customers outside. I think also the, let's say, capabilities and the resources is also one of the key aspects that we are considering, and having the alignment between business and IT or business and technology people to be able to deliver the value that business is expecting, especially in this digital era, is also a very important aspect, which is taking time, and some gaps are being perceived, which is not delivering the right value to the customer at the end of the day, and we have to go for several rounds until we reach the level that is expected by the business, which is also helping the digital transformation journey in any organization.
Amazing, amazing. Thank you so much, Mr. Ahmed, for highlighting all the benefits. And I think to support your points, the best examples are all the professional entities who are exhibiting their services outside. How these automated systems, how these services are making the life of end user very easy, and any person with full confidence can start their business in this era of digital transformation. So we will now move to Dr. Iftkhar Alvi. Dr. Iftkhar, from your experience, what principles and features should be prioritized in designing initiative LCNC platforms to ensure accessibility and user-friendliness for developers of all skill levels?
Right. Well, before I answer this question, let's first understand the concept behind to establish these kind of platforms. What were the challenges and what are the expectations? If you go back and see what are the major challenges, the challenges will always come from the market. And nowadays market is so much volatile that every second there is a change, and in order to take care of this change, people, they need technology to help them. And now if we see the current technology, we are following the same methodology irrespective, this is whatever the kind of modern waterfall, agile, whatever. Things always take time. So first of all, we need to mitigate the risk for delaying the solutions to the business, point number one. In addition to that, we need to consider who are the audience. The audience is those professionals who are not IT, but they know business very well. So these are the audience that we need to target. Now, if we target both of these things, so we will get the basis of the platform that needs to be developed. First of all, we need to talk about such a platform which should be very much agile. Number two, that platform should be very much easy to be maintained and handled by normal professionals who are not IT. So it means we need to talk about pre-built components, pre-built processes, so that the people who are working on these platforms, they should get something out of the box. They will change certain things in that, maybe some properties around that, and they should come up with an application. Now, if we talk about the applications, the way we are going for the digitalization, one of the biggest challenges that we are getting now, that is for the security and the standards of the security. In order to maintain the standards and the securities in these applications, all these applications should be governed by certain standards, and those platforms should be regulated well by certain regulatory authorities, and these platforms should be certified by security monitoring organizations, so that if any of the organizations they are talking about for the implementation of low-code and no-code platform, they should have a very good peace of mind that whatever we are going to develop, that platform and that development is very secure. There will not be leakage of the data. That platform and the development is up to the mark, and the people who are working, they are not in need to reinvent the wheel. They will get several objects out of the box. They just need to put these objects in such a way that they can achieve the goal what they are looking for. And those platforms should be keep on updating themselves. Even if we say there are certain platforms which are available, for example, if we see a real life, Power BI, this is such a software and this is such a platform which gives us a very good flexibility that any of the person who is from the business, he can drag and drop and he can tabulate or he can show the information that he was earlier showing in Excel, very long information in a very couple of simple dashboards. He can talk about exceptions, and all these dashboards and these reports, they don't need days. Even if someone has good grip on this, the solutions which were being provided by IT following the conventional way, and they were taking even months or days or even years, people can develop these with these kind of technologies maybe in hours, days or weeks. And this is what business is looking for. So while we are talking about these platforms, we should consider agility, we should consider security, we should consider the interface of that software in such a way that any of the person he can get into that and develop. And in addition to that, one of the most important thing, we should not talk about the conventional way of user rights. The guide of that platform should be in such a way that when someone looking to that, he will get to know each and everything from that control, and whatever he is going to develop, he should get that pre-built or available in the system, so that he can make a small modifications and get his work done. So this is the platform we are looking for.
Thank you so much, Dr. Sahar, for highlighting the most powerful tool, Power BI, Tableau, where each and every person from the industry without really very sound IT knowledge can use. And you highlighted the most important point about the cybersecurity, risk governance, and all these rules and regulations. Because as we are most vulnerable to the internet and the cloud computing, we have more and more threats to secure ourselves, our business, and our information. So that's really great insight. By considering the time limitation, we have the third round, and I want to proceed with it because a very useful information is there. So although we will go quickly, but we have to take it. I will go back again to Mr. Anas. Mr. Anas, in your opinion, what are the main challenges organizations face when implementing LCNC platform, and how can these challenges be addressed to facilitate smoother adoption and collaboration?
The challenge actually I cascade in three pillars: the organization, the products, and the vendors. If you look at the organization, one of the challenging is the change management that you need to addressing the change into the organization, and you considering your resources, the resistance, and how you will, as a leader in the organization, how we will adapt to this new change. The second thing, the architecture solution that you will look at, and how we will complex regarding the interface, the integration. The third one is security, how to secure the data and preparation and cybersecurity. This is we look at in the organization side, which means they have requirement to that platform. It comes to the products. So you need to look at if you this product open source or not an open source. You need to look at how it is scalability for this product or new requirement that we will come, and how complexity for troubleshooting and changing going forward. Because not all the products for low code is similar. Each one they have different programming and different architecture. When we come to the vendors, we need to look at about the maturity for this vendor and the success of that implementation that done, and even which very important thing that their capabilities and the resources, and after implementation, I mean the ongoing support after the product is going live. So if you look at to that part and what is in the business case and look at all of these challenges, I think then we'll come with action plan for all of each. Then we will have decided that we are ready to implement low code and no code. It is not a fancy, by the way, to reinvest your platform if you have in-house development or relying on, for example, any system for content management, and to move low code and no code. Which actually there is managing the expectation for the decision maker when you have, okay, this product drag and drop, it's adapted within 1 or 2 years. This is not a fact. It is part of features, but when it comes to reality, it is not shut down the system here and run the system here. So we need to addressing the cost of investment that we need to be applying when make transformation between low code and no code. That the decision maker that need to be addressing all of these aspects, and you should deliver, the right message to the management, usually the expectation. Because from my experience, also with the CEO, I have a long experience. The CEO told me, we need to move the exchange to the cloud. It's 5 days enough. It's a matter of migrating the emails. Why you need to bring vendors? Your team is capable to do, but they don't understand the back end that need to be prepared environment to run the organization or run this product is sufficient without any hiccups and without, which means that's very important for any system. And even for low code and no code is a trending, but still there is a gap of the communication that not delivering very well, which means that as a leader today in marketing for IT directors, when presenting this one, we have a challenge to get the convenience actually and confident in management. This is the solution, this is the roadmap, this is an action plan that need to be implemented to achieve this goal. So this is what the work that I highlight here to all of us.
Thank you, Mr. Anas, for highlighting and emphasizing on the main factors. Personally, if we go through the very successful use cases, we can see most of them, they don't prefer the disruptive changes or disruptive technology. They proceed with the sustainable developments or sustainable phases. So the most important is to look at the cultural adoption, and all the businesses, they have to go through the internal and external environment. And after looking in all of these, they can make the best strategy to proceed with any type of new technology. So that's very think a very insightful point for all the businesses. By saying this, we will move to Mr. Ahmed Dervish. How does the utilization of LCNC platform benefit business by enhancing agility, accelerating development cycles, and optimizing resource allocation?
Yeah, I think I've touched base on this subject by previous response. Normally, when we have a local movement as part of our digital transformation strategy, we are not only about adapting a local movement, but also how we are going to adapt it. So the way or the approach that we are going to use the local movement is also impacting how we can achieve these values. One of the key things that we have been or we went through is that instead of that we have multiple systems, and each system has its own way of maintaining and development and so on. We were able to bring one level of local platform, which is being front end for the development and maintenance and maintenance and continuous improvement of these multiple systems. So the way of having that layer on top of the systems or platforms has give us a faster way of improving things. We build one centralized team which can handle multiple systems instead of having isolated teams, one team to look after each system separately. And this has give us the agility as well as the cost optimization to run our operation in the back end. One of the good things that we also were able to achieve is to have this continuously being improved and optimized. So instead of that, we need to build things from scratch. We can capitalize on ready-made, let's say, packages or library. So we can even optimize our day-to-day activities and operation. Agility, as I mentioned before, from ideation to reach the customer hand is also very critical for us. And today, in the digital era, I think now we are talking about a few weeks instead of several months or years like it was before. And the competition is very high, and the customer reality now is becoming at the minimum level. So if you are not able to catch the market faster and being able to meet the customer expectations and what they are looking for faster, I think you will start losing the market share. And this is happening today already in the market as perceived by the banks, especially with the competition that we have with the multiple wallets in the market. And again, I still believe that the agility that the fintechs and small entities have is a very big threat to the big organizations. And if organizations are not fast enough and agile enough to compete with those faster entities to deploy solutions and get customer expectations met, is going to lose the market share and be out of the competition very soon.
Thank you so much, Mr. Ahmed, for highlighting all the challenges and the opportunities and the proper solution for this. Just considering the time limitation, we will go quickly. And last but not least, I would like to ask Dr. Iftikhar, what measures should be taken to ensure that LCNC platform align with regulatory requirement and security standards while remaining user-friendly for developers?
I was going through our study, and even all of our professionals, they also have the same understanding. On the daily basis, there are developers and there are professionals who are releasing hundreds of the applications on different platforms. Now, whenever someone is going to install that application or trying to use that application, the first question that comes into our mind, that is it secured application? If I use that application, is there a risk or potential that my information is leaked or not? So now, earlier people, they were talking about agility. Now there's another mindset that is developing, that whether it's secured or not. It's a very big question. Now, in order to address this question, the most important thing, but we are the people that are considering whatever the platform on which the application is developed, it should be secure, and this should be regulated well. So whenever we are talking about the regularity regulatory authorities. So first of all, the first thing which comes into the mind is cyber control and the cyber security certifications. So all these platforms, they should be certified from different authorities which are talking about cyber security, which are talking about VAPT, which are talking about the leakage of the data, which are talking about the security, and which are talking about consistent improvement toward the security measures. And in addition to that, the platform should be stable enough. So whenever any platform is in the consideration, all these things should be considered very well. So now with the passage of time, if we see all the technology vendors who are evolving or who are developing these platforms, they are considering all these factors. In case if there is a platform which is not considering all this, so with the passage of time, that platform will be out of the market. Reason being, now there are a lot of vendors who are in this field for developing these platforms, and the competition is very high. And in any of the vendor or any of the technology provider who is not considering this, soon he will be out of the market. And out of the market doesn't mean only the out of the market. The people who invested for the development of the apps on these platforms, and the investment which is done, the effort which is done, and the data which is there in all the applications, that will drain down. It's not only a downside for the platform vendor, it is also a very big risk for the companies who adopt their platform. So now, in order to address this, there should be certain regulatory authorities who should certify these platforms before we launch these platforms for the development and further improvements. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Iftkhar, for sharing these amazing insights, and I think you are sharing the amazing tips with all the platforms who are proceeding in this journey of LCNC and the digital transformation, where the cybersecurity, basic technical skills, and IT regulatory services are the core points. So I'm thankful to all my esteemed panelists for this amazing discussion, for highlighting all the opportunities, challenges, and the future of the LCNC globally and mainly in the kingdom. We would like to conclude this session, and we are thankful to all our audience for being here and for their attention.